r/ask Reddit. What is socially accepted when you are beautiful but not accepted when you are ugly? Being the strong, silent type only works if you are handsome. People don't want to explore if there is any depth to you if you're not aesthetically pleasing. I am sure more good looking people get away with shit personalities. Drax Guardians of the Galaxy said it best. Ugly people are lucky. When someone loves them, they know it's because of what's on the inside. Beautiful people can never really tell. This is why I've chosen not to be rich. It was a choice that I made. Literally just existing and talking to people. There's a guy at work named Sean. Sean is unfortunate looking. He's a redhead. He's balding, yet his sides and back are pretty long. He doesn't cut his nose hairs. He's constantly red pink, pot-bellied, and yeah, he kind of lingers around your desk and talks a bit too much. Problem is, we all kind of do that, you know, overstaying your cubicle visit or whatever. Everyone at work thinks he's creepy. They all think he'll shoot up the place or maybe he will eventually be banned from entering a school zone. TBH, Sean is a sweet, nice dude. He's your nerdy, 40-year-old virgin type of dude. He's got a lot of friends, from what I can tell on Facebook, and practically zero work friends. He plays on different softball and bowling teams, goes out to bars with his friends, and from what I can tell, seems perfectly normal. I talk to him every so often and he's a really nice guy. I visited his desk and he said I was the first person to visit him. He started here maybe 6 months ago. It's very unfortunate for him that people think of him this way. I know for a fact that if he was skinnier, had hair, and wasn't ugly that people wouldn't think he's creepy at all. All I can picture when reading your description of him is Louis CK. What I don't get is why people who say stuff like he's probably gonna shoot up the place and actually mean it don't instead become super nice to that person. And if you say that about someone and don't mean it, well, it's a pretty shitty thing to say. Wearing more revealing clothes or out of date clothing. If an ugly guy wears 80s or 90s clothing, people will think he shops at Value Village. If a good looking guy does it, he's considered a vintage dresser. Same with wearing clothing that are pushing the limits of fashion. Taking your shirt off. If you live in a trailer park, it's very socially acceptable, hot or not. Randy, you know, when I want advice on cheeseburgers or not wearing a shirt, you're the person I'll come to. Move on. Gut Cassidy and the Sundance Cheeseburger. Being weird. People will tolerate a great deal of weirdness, strangeness and psycho behavior from an attractive person, whereas these traits would be unforgivable in an ugly person. There was a social experiment conducted where a catfish profile of a beautiful blonde was created. When guys talked to her, the catfishers responded with the most weird, bizarre, off the wall, creepy answers, but guys still kept pursuing. People will tolerate a lot of weirdness if it comes alongside hotness. It's being quirky versus being what's wrong with him, huh? That's my beef with quirky characters on TV. The attractive ones are seen as cute and special, and the unattractive ones are seen as basically inappropriate freaks a la Amy from The Big Bang Theory. But if she looked like Kaylee Cuoco, she would likely be a whole different character. Same with clumsiness. It's considered cute if the girl is attractive, but they are treated like something less over it if they are ugly. Interestingly, attractive guys are almost never clumsy themselves. Apparently it would make them less handsome. Making a lot of eye contact or smiling at a stranger. People in the American South and Midwest don't know about this, and smiling is just common courtesy. Whenever I make eye contact, usually accidentally, I automatically smile. Most people smile back. This can't be related to beauty. I'm not awful, but I'm not beautiful. Weirdly, being polite to the opposite sex. I'm generally a very polite and friendly person. When I was fat, men would constantly go out of their way to make sure I knew they had no interest, even though I hadn't given any hint of being interested and was already in a relationship. Now that I've lost weight, everyone's a lot nicer. Similar thing happened to me. Lost weight after high school and freshman year of university. Girls who didn't give me the time of day in high school went out of their way to talk to me and stay in touch via social media. This super hot girl farted once in my high school class. People thought it was hilarious and some of the football players hugged her and thought it was awesome. Later that year in English class, an overweight girl let a ripper go and was mocked and ridiculed and was told she was disgusting. I went to school with an overweight, unattractive girl who sneezed and farted at the same time in school. She spent the next 2 years being called Sneezerfoot by everyone until she moved away. Unrelated. Saying you're ugly. If you're actually ugly, you just end up making everyone uncomfortable. If you're beautiful, people tend to fall all over themselves trying to reassure you that you're beautiful. This girl on my FB does professional modeling and she's a 10 out of 10. All of her pics are damn. I look terrible in this pic, and the wave of people saying what? No, you're beautiful. PLZ date me. Knee. Damn. I look terrible in this pic. Others. You look terrible. Period. Being dumb. This is the one I came to say. Stereotypical dumb blonde or musclehead. You've still got your looks. Ugly and dumb? You double ducked, man. To give a somewhat serious answer. Boasting of your prowess. People are psychologically more inclined to believe someone good looking is skillful at whatever they're claiming to good at, despite no evidence. In fact, there's something called the halo effect that says along with beauty come all sorts of other positive characteristics. We have a tendency to think beautiful people are funnier, more friendly, more intelligent, more exciting, in possession of better social skills, are sexually warmer, are more interesting, poised and even more independent. Being quiet, introverted. If you're attractive, then you're cute or sweet or reserved. If you're ugly, then you're awkward or creepy or have no life. This may be true, but on the other hand, if you are attractive and introverted, people tend to assume you're stuck up beach. Agreed. In high school, when I was wearing glasses and had no fringe, I was labeled an ugly weirdo. Halfway through high school I switched to contacts and cut bangs. I was surprised at how different I looked. But duck. I was even more surprised at how different I was treated. People started talking to me more, but since I'm introverted and got some social anxiety, they decided I was stuck up and thought I was better than everyone. What the duck? I've seen this one cut both ways. Introverted attractive people often end up labeled as stuck up or aloof, while unattractive people get bookish or nerd, which may not sound great but usually come with an implication of intelligence. Being a criminal sometimes. I remember when that beautiful convict guy was floating around the internet for a while. The one that got the modeling contract? He recently did a show where he walked for a big designer. I have no idea, dude. I just remember people trying to justify whatever he'd done because he was hot. Flirting. Bothering people who are reading. After years of sitting in coffee shops reading, I realized I was curt with anyone who tried to engage me in conversation, unless they were an attractive girl. That's a great test though. If you want to know how attractive you are objectively, just interrupt someone reading and see how they respond. I really hope my BF doesn't read this. He'll think that he's hideous based on how hard I try to ignore him when I want to read. I don't think it counts if you're already dating the person. Dressing down for an occasion. For example, hot guy can wear jeans to a semi-formal event and pull it off. Looks fine. No worries. Ugly guy wears jeans to a semi-formal event, and he looks lazy and underdressed. To be honest, I think this also correlates greatly with how the clothes fit. In my stereotype and vision, the attractive dude wears jeans that fit ducking well, and the ugly guy just wears whatever his mom bought him. People often don't seem to understand how much properly fitting clothes contribute to being attractive. Assuming people want to interact with you. My sister and I call ourselves Princess Diary Pretty because we have frizzy curly hair, but when straightened, we clean up nice. We tried an experiment for 2 weeks. Week 1 wear sweats, no hair straightening, no makeup. Week 2 wear cute outfits, straighten hair, do makeup, wear perfume. I wish we had filmed because the difference in the way we were treated was insane, by men and women. Week 1 people would let doors slam in my face, treated me meanly, and didn't notice me. Week 2 everyone smiled at me, held doors, called me honey, got invited out with co-workers. I even had my coffee donut paid for. Anyone who says that looks don't matter is living in a fantasy world. Self-deprecation. I'm terrible at self-deprecation. Don't worry, I'm much worse. deliberately opening the sleeping pod of a hot girl during a long ass trip to colonize a new planet after your own hibernation was interrupted when your pod malfunctioned. Winking seductively, I would say. I do agree with others though. Just about everything is socially unacceptable if you're ugly. Wink with both of your eyes at the same time to double the allure. God damn it. I thought I was the first to come up with that. This is how the conversation with my friends go. I think she is hitting on me. She just double winked at me. What, like she winked twice at you? Yet at the same time with both eyes. Why do I ever take you seriously? Bad at your job. Truth. I worked with a guy I called Fabio. He was early 40s with kind of long wavy hair. Handsome face. Looked like someone modeled a statue of a Roman general after him. Guy was terrible at his job. Every time I went to his desk he was watching movies. When he left we discovered 6 months of work he just straight up didn't do. He worked hard for about 2 years. Built up a reputation for being a good worker and then promptly coasted on that reputation and his good looks. Ducker used to do that hair flip thing when talking with women and they'd practically go all Elvis fan over him. Be persistent in pursuit of your crush. At least in movies. Anyways. I have seen this one posted a few times already here, and feel it's more something people get away with in movies, and people in movies tend to be more good looking than average people. I assure you behavior that becomes stalker like sucks regardless of how attractive the guy is. Looking up someone's personal information so you can find them again. When you're ugly, you're stalking them. When you're hot, you're being romantic. That is, in Hitch. Will Smith tracks down where Eva Mendes worked and then sent a delivery guy there with to give her a wetsuit and her exact measurements. He was being romantic. You would not be considered romantic. Honestly though, I think that shit's just romantic in movies, especially the exact measurements part. Gee. Not a popular opinion, but from watching drama within my friend group. Cheating. Average guy cheats. Girl dumps him and never thinks about his sorry ass again. Hot guy cheats. Girl says it's over but is dating him again within a month or two. Probably not many people would admit it. They'll all say cheating is unacceptable regardless of looks. But as far as I've seen, their actions tell another story. You have shallow people in your life. I really can't deny that. Oh my gosh, I eat so much. I ate like an entire bag of chips. It's funny, but when you are actually fat it's like yeah, no da loser. People assume your successes are based on your skills. Narcissism shallowness. There's a ton of vitriol directed at unattractive women who spend a lot of time on their appearance. Putting makeup on a pig. Unless you're naturally attractive. There's this idea that you shouldn't even bother trying to look nice because who do you think you're fooling? You'll always be ugly, so just accept in your ugliness. You see it a lot directed at heavy women on this site. Because other people don't find you attractive. People feel like you don't deserve to feel or find yourself attractive. Meanwhile, hot girls can spend an inordinate amount of time on their appearance and documenting their appearance with very little pushback. People like looking at them. So it's okay they like looking at themselves so much too. Just being nice in general, lol. When I was in high school there was this guy named James and everyone always blasted him for his appearance. How annoying, creepy he was, etc. I tried to be nice to him but I'd be lying if I said I enjoyed his presence. One day in class I was talking about how I felt insecure that day and he said don't feel that way, you're beautiful. And I said thank you, but everyone else around us laughed. A more attractive guy in the same class called a friend of mine beautiful and everyone says oh, so sweet, you guys should date. I don't know what happened to James after high school but I hope he's doing well. Nobody deserves that kind of treatment. Crying. When a beautiful person is crying everyone is concerned and consoling. Ugly people cry, no one gives a shit and acts like they aren't there. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.